Hello everyone, welcome back to Glitz and Glitter. Guess what? It is the final series, Series 6. And Series 6 is the octopus. So we are going to finish up this series. So if you're new to my channel or you haven't seen this series, series number 1, this is in a video if you want to see how I filled them. These were the two that I did the first time. These were series 2 with the white transparent background. Number 3 was the sandy background and the gorgeous little crab. Number 4 was just the other day with the shark. And number 5, did I say 5 or 6? Well, it's number 5, but you know what I'm talking about. We're going to do him kind of different, but the same. I'm still going to use these Temu colors because I've used them on all. I don't want to really completely change it up. So I'm going to do green for the leaves, black on this plant here, because I've done that black on the plant and all of them, that particular plant. I'm still going to keep the white bubbles. But for the octopus, I am going to try the Galaxy Chameleon Powder. Now this is the big one. You can buy this by itself. This is a really huge one. And this one is Galaxy. So it's color changing. So I figured because octopus are color changing in their different moods, that would be a great way to do it. Now there's probably going to be a lot of cleanup because of the brushing it on. Which is no big deal. I do it all the time. But for the background, I was wondering what I could do different, and my friend brought me over some sand and shell that came from our local Inglewood beach here in Florida. So I think I'm just going to fill it with transparent and a little bit of this shell that she gave me. So I think that's what's going to happen. Now, I do have an announcement to make for my demos. I'm changing the way I'm doing it just to make my life a little bit easier and your life a little bit easier. So as you all know, I sell my demos at cost. There is no profit in them. At the end of each video, I am now going to be listing the demo on my eBay store because there's too many emails coming in, to be honest with you. And if I don't get them in order and multiple people want the item, then I have to kind of keep track on who wants it. And then if they didn't decide to take it, then I have to figure out who is next. And it's getting to be a lot for me. So these are going on eBay. Very low cost. They're really next to nothing. Not just these, but every video from here on out. If it's not for me, it will be on my eBay store for whatever the cost was. You're just basically paying the cost, and whatever the shipping is, I'm not including shipping because I don't know where you're at. So you just pay the shipping, whatever it is, pick how you want it shipped, and that's how it's going to go. So if you want these, first person gets them because, like I said, it's just getting to be a lot. I can't keep everything up. I'm a one-woman show here, you guys, and it's getting hard. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do first is, what am I going to do first? I think I'll fill them in before I paint him with chameleon powders, because if I get chameleon powder on the back of the resin, it won't matter. And yeah, I think that's the best idea. Let me grab my UV light, get these done, and then we'll paint him last and fill him up. I'm so excited. This is so exciting to finally finish this series. These are from Karen Yanni. She gifted them to me. Thank you, Karen. It was so much fun, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you people watching ended up ordering them. So this was all inspired by you, Karen. Thank you. Are you ready to get started? So I'm going to start with the little black one. I'm probably going to be really close to empty after I do this last one. And I was thinking about putting the Galaxy on and covering it with clear. It would be a lighter color. So I think I'm actually going to put the Galaxy on him when I get to that point and fill him with the black UV resin so I can get the full effect of the Galaxy powder, because it always works better when you use the black backing on any kind of chameleon powder. So I'm just going to fill this in with my little scribe. Everything that I use in every video is linked in my description box, so please check there. If there is not something there that you're looking for, let me know. I maybe forgot it. Hope not, but let me know. Not only will I send you the link, I will also correct it in the description box for everybody else to have. But I usually take pretty good notes, but sometimes, you know, things happen and I forget. So you never know. But anyway, check there first before you ask me, because I'm pretty sure you'll find it. I'm just going to fast forward this for you so you don't have to sit and watch every detail of this. So I just did those and I popped it in the UV light, obviously, to get it set pretty good. Now I'm just going to do these little teeny tiny bubbles in white. Now, if you're putting resin on silicone like this, a lot of times it'll pull away. And that just means you need to add some more. Or sometimes it didn't while you were filling it, but after you bring it out of the light, it has pulled away from the sides. Just fill it up and throw it under the light again, and you'll get it done. It's not too difficult, obviously. It just takes patience. It's not hard. It's like coloring with a stick. And then I decided around this outer edge, I'm going to put a glitter, because you know I have to incorporate glitter somewhere. Since I'm not using glitter on the octopus, I am going to use it around the edge. And I picked my mermaid tail, which is a bluish green, mostly blue, but it's perfect for an ocean theme. So I'm just going to get these little white dots on, pop it under the machine, the UV light. I like that light because it cures from the top and the bottom at the same time, so there's no flipping over anything. And I'm not putting in a full 2 minutes. I'm just getting it set. And then once I have everything in there, then I will pop it in until it's completely cured before we fill it with the regular resin. And it only takes a couple minutes, especially these ones that the light can see through. It'll cure pretty quickly through top and bottom. So I'm just going to finish this up, grab another little cup. And I wonder, is that, I don't know if that's a bubble or if that's part of the, I don't know what that is. Well, I'm going to treat it like a bubble, but I don't know if it's part of the octopus or not right here. I'm sure you all have the answer for me, and I'm probably doing it wrong. But it is what it is now. It's now become a bubble. All right, I'm going to pop this under the light. So I'm just going to mix my own little glitter mixture. So it's basically UV resin, which you can always add more if you don't have enough. And I'm just going to put my glitter in it till you're happy. And I have not had a problem with the amount of glitter that I put in mine. This is the mermaid tail. It's so much nicer in person. A lot of you have ordered it. If you ordered it, let everybody know how gorgeous it is in person. I'm just going to mix this around. And it's always cured just fine under the UV light. My glitter's in UV resin, so I'm not even going to do a test piece, I don't think. Now that I said that, I'm nervous, so I guess maybe I will do a test piece. But I have not had one fail yet, so I don't expect it to. Let me grab my coaster. Well, I guess it's not a coaster. It's more like a something you would put on a sliding glass door so you don't run into it when it's clean. I'm just going to do this tiny little section and just test it because now I made myself nervous because I had to say something about it. All right, BRB. And it worked like I thought. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish the outer edge, drip by drip. I'm not going to do the octopus arms right there, so it kind of stops itself where the octopus arms are. Now for the octopus. I'm gonna try to, I don't know, all these little dots that should be a different color. I don't know if I'm even gonna be able to do that. I just might end up getting the whole thing the same color. I'll just clean off with alcohol the best that I could where I don't want it. I could probably mix this with alcohol, and I can hear you guys yelling at me to do that, but I don't know if you're still going to get the same effect of the chameleon powder if I mix this with alcohol and painted it on like a paint. So because I don't know the answer to that question, I'm not going to try it. There's a little tiny piece of plant over there that I need to fill in. I'm just going to take a little micro brush and some alcohol and carefully wash off all the parts I don't want it on there. And I'm hoping it works and doesn't take 2 hours. That's the only reason I don't like doing mica powders, because the cleanup is terrible. I'm not going to be able to get it all. So you may have noticed that I mixed up too much glitter for the outer edge, so here's what I made with it. 2 pendants to give away and a set of earrings. Came out really pretty. So somebody's gonna get them, or possibly may already have them by the time this goes out to you guys. All right, so for the octopus, I'm gonna fill him in with black. I'm gonna make my black. I'm gonna use my UV resin. Probably mix up too much again. I don't know. It's hard to tell. And I'm gonna take black alcohol ink and hopefully, well, I'm gonna test a little spot because I'm not sure if it's going to, actually, I'm not gonna test it in there. I will test it on something else. Before I pour it in there, I don't wanna have to wipe it out and ruin it. But I don't know if this is gonna cure. It should. It's not like completely opaque. Let me put it on something. I'll put it on my paper towel. Let me go cure this and see if it works. It looks like it's gonna work, but it needs to be thin. So I'm gonna try to do this as thin as humanly possible. Let me just move this around without disturbing. I don't know. I hope it cures because it's so hard to get it thin in here. I'm trying not to touch the mica powder because I don't want it to like smear underneath. This is not easy. Sure, if I spread it far enough. Spreading it isn't the problem. It's spreading it without messing the mica powder up underneath it. It seems to have cured okay. So I'm gonna keep moving on. It's hard to tell. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little bit of the mermaid tail glitter and I'm gonna put it over all these little spots just to cover them up, so when we unmold it, we might have a two-toned. I hope you're not gonna see the rest of it through the octopus. I'm hoping the black will cover the fact that I'm just pouring it on the back. I don't know. We shall find out, I guess. Because if not, that'll kind of ruin the whole thing. I guess what I could have done was just, I don't know, I guess I could have painted mica powder over these little dots instead. I don't know, I hope I'm not ruining all this work. All right, well, there goes nothing. All right, a couple things I have done before I get ready to pour my clear. One, I took my other black UV resin. There were a few spots that were kind of thin, and when I flipped it over, I could tell the thin spots. So I did cover some spots with more black UV resin. I took a blue chameleon powder. I painted that over the glitter because when I flipped it over, there were a few little dots that I could see were clear that didn't get covered with the glitter. So I did do that and washed it all back down with my brush. I made this little pendant with some extra UV resin, added a little gold flake in there. So I did that for an extra. I mixed up 1 ounce of my Fast Cure 4-hour. I ran it through the vacuum chamber. I got all the bubbles out. That thing, I tell you guys, if you do not have one, you need to save one. Save enough money to buy one. I love that thing. So what I'm going to do, I don't want to douse it with this shell. I just want some shell on the back of it. So I'm going to pour some resin in, put some shell on, and then pour a little more resin in. So I think I'll do like 2 layers. I don't know how much I need. I just don't want the shell in first in case it doesn't get mixed into the resin. Then it will be sticking out of the top of the coaster. So I'm just going to kind of move it around, sprinkle some shell, and then pour the rest. And if you do mix some more bubbles in, like I see a couple bubbles, just grab a long neck lighter and pop them. Although you may not see them, plus it's an underwater scene. I know bubbles don't really matter, but if they bother you, that's the way you can pop them without ruining your mold. All right, well, I think it popped all by itself. I'm just gonna take a little bit, let me use a spoon actually. Whoops. Then I'm just going to pour the rest of my resin on. I'm going to put it in my curing machine so I can unmold quickly. And that will be the last one of the series until I do it again one day. Make sure you get it filled to the top. So that was only 1 ounce, and with the shell, that's about all I need. Might have a little tiny bit extra. Not much though. Need a little bit more. Now I can't peek on the other side because I can't lift it up anymore. All right, you guys, that's it. We will be back on demold. I can't believe it's done. It's been in the curing machine like 1 hour. That's it. It's done. Of course it's warm. I never wait till it cools down because I want to see it. So let's get it out. I don't know how the shell's gonna look. And I do have to top coat it because it's gonna be dull. I just remembered about that. All right, here we go. Oh, look, he does change color. Well, you probably can't see it in there. I'm trying to get it. But what do you think of the shell? Can you tell it's shell? I wonder if it'll... Well, you can see the blue through the little holes. That's good. His eye is blue. Should we do... You know what? We're going to do UV resin so we can get this thing done in one day. We're going to top coat it. Let me grab my little shelf for the light. And let me move this out of the way. We are going to use, I'm going to just use my regular UV because I have more of it than my high viscosity one. I'm gonna cover it. I mean, you could do this with normal epoxy 1-to-1, but I don't want to wait, you guys. I just don't want to wait. I just hope I'm picking the right one. The high viscosity one will hold on to the edges better, especially the way I poured this on like crazy woman. It may drip off the edges. I'll just have to trim it. Like, yeah, it's dripping off right there because I put it on way too fast. So I'm just gonna get this all to the edges. I'm probably gonna lift it up a little bit because I don't want to UV it to my tray. So when you put your resin, look at it, it's just coming off because I'm getting excited, you guys. It's almost done. So don't do that. Oh, goodness. So now I gotta find something to lift it up off of that. And, what do I do? I'm gonna look at that. It's just, I think I got it all. It's trying to get into all these little tiny holes, so just help it. I'm gonna grab my lighter. I don't need to add any bubbles. Let's see, I'm gonna use some sticks to get it up off of there. Of course, I don't have my gloves on. Poured way too much. I'm just gonna kind of prop it up so it doesn't get stuck to the mold or stuck to the tray. All right, I'm not gonna stick it in. I'm just gonna bring my light to it, get it cured, and see how it looks. And it is done. The last one looks much better with the clear on it. But I will say the bubbles got washed out a little bit by all the shell in the background. But it's not too bad. There's the back. And I will say, if your UV resin comes out sticky out of the light, all you have to do is take some cold soapy water, and wash it down. And all that stickiness goes away. So I'm going to get you pictures of all of them. There are 7 of them in this set. So stick around for those pictures if you're interested in this demo. Click on the link in the description to the demo. I will tell you where it's at in the description box. And if they're gone, they're gone. I don't know what to say. So if you want them, get them quickly. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for coming in for the last one. I'm sure a lot of you did watch all of them. If you haven't, go back on the channel and find them. They're not too far apart. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.